adopted children too. Yeah. I'm a worship leader in CCC. And that's it.
Okay. When and how to say it. When and how to say it. When and how to say what? I shared it on my status, and that was what somebody asked me. I said, oh, let's meet tonight. Then you find out what the it is. But at the end of this discussion, we are hoping that we would all come to a place where we'll understand the right timing and the approach to making romantic proposals. Because as young people, we are all growing, and we'll definitely get to the point where either you are accepting a proposal or you are offering the proposal. Do you understand me? And we need to, in fact, I didn't think her, but somebody's expectation is to know when and how to receive it. So we'll try and then touch briefly on that. Okay, so how and when to say it. How and when to say it. I'll just say something small just to set the ball rolling. Then my sisters would talk, and then we'll chip in. It's going to be an interesting discussion, all right? So how and when to say it. We want to believe that at this point, just to set a premise, if you are going to make a romantic proposal, for us gathered here as believers, we don't go about making romantic proposals just for the fun of it, right? We are talking about proposing with the intent of marriage. Okay, because for us as believers, that is why we go into courtship. Okay, with dating, and I say this with a lot of caution, with dating is simply getting to know people, learning more about people, and that's essentially friendship. There should be nothing romantic in the setting of dating. Okay? So technically, if you are dating, you can date about 5 people at a go. You are learning about 5 people. You don't go and put your eggs in one basket. Okay? You don't go and make romantic proposals at that point. You are just being friends with about 5 people, with about 5 gentlemen, 5 ladies. You are not taking the gentleman's money. You are not asking him to send you momo. You are not going to his house to wash. You are not cooking for him. You understand? You are simply friends, so that over time, you can tell, okay, who you want to graduate to another level. Now, when that another level begins, usually, in our own setting, the gentleman would make a proposal, which is it's conventional, traditional. I am one who tends to challenge the status quo, so I'm for ladies also proposing, if you are interested. Yes, I don't know what my sisters will say, but me, if the tables were flipped, and you were a lady and you liked me and you approached me, if I also like you, praise the Lord. If I don't like you, you chop mouths. The same way that if I also approach you and you didn't like me, I'll also chop bounce. So it can go either way, all right? But just to set the premise that we go into courtship and we make these romantic proposals for the purpose of marriage, okay? Setting out on the path to marriage. So how and when to say it? That's what we are discussing. So do we say it when I meet you day one and I'm interested in you, then I say it? Or I should wait when we have worked together and, all our families know each other and the whole church, people know that, As for Sarah and this one, they are together, everyone knows. Is that when I do that, or should I do it like a month to our wedding day? Then I'll do some grand something B, and then invite all my friends, and then bring a ring, and then kneel down and say, will you marry me? When we've been working together for about 2 years, and all our families are involved, and we have a wedding date. So these are all the questions, okay? These are all the questions, and I believe that we need to know the right time and then how to say it. But just to set a premise, we do all of these things with the intent and the purpose of entering into marriage. We don't want your path to marriage or whatever littered with a lot of trials and errors, where, any lady, as for you, any lady who comes into your life, Kobe. Any lady who comes into your life, when they are down for two weeks, you start texting the lady, 2 weeks, you want to draw proposal, then they will bounce you. And come and put things on your status. What doesn't kill you make you stronger. Because you have chopped bounce. That is not the intent. That is not the intent. Believe you me, if the time is right, if you know the right time and you know how to say it, it's not likely you are going to chop a bounce. So I will drop that here and then let my sisters have a go. Thank you.
All right, so I'll pick it up from here. The point where he shared that it's key. Hello. All right. So from the point where he shared that it's key in your mind that you want to date this person and you don't drop any hint, the lady doesn't pretend. You really get to know her in and out. Then as a man, with that information, you rethink if you really want to go ahead or not. Okay, that is just something to add up to what he shared. But then I also want to add on from the objective of today's discussion. As I shared with you, I'm going to come from the research department. Yes. And looking at the objective for today, I think what I saw or what I received was to enlighten the male youth to get deeper understanding of female love language and preferences. Female love language and preferences before making romantic proposals. Yes, so I was wondering why I was seeing female love language, if there is anything like that. But then the little research I made, there is 5 love languages. There is nothing like male love language or female love language. All right, and if I would give you a little story behind the 5 love languages, I happened to listen to an interview by the creator, the originator of the 5 love languages, who is in the person of Dr. Gary Chapman. Yes. And his book has been in existence for about 32 years now. Yes. And he shared that he's actually a counselor. Yes. In real life, he's a counselor, he's a speaker. He's the author of about 50 books. All right. And he shared that his first time that he encountered a couple in his counseling office, he was really surprised the things that he heard. This is the genesis of this whole 5 love languages. And when the couple came, the lady right there just made it clear to him that they don't argue as a couple. They've never argued. They don't have financial issues. She went on to list all the good things about the marriage. But then her only challenge was that she wasn't feeling loved from her husband. And the man was actually surprised. And he also responded that he, in his own way, tries to show her love. So Dr. Chapman asked him, "How do you show it?" And he started listing. Between the two of them, as in the couple, the man mostly closes from work before the wife. So he mostly does the dinner. When the lady comes and they finish eating, he washes the dishes. This is the man who. He washes the dishes. On Thursdays, he says he cleans the whole house. On Saturdays, he washes their car, cuts the grass, and goes ahead to even help with the laundry. So when he was sharing this, Dr. Chapman was like, then this lady, what really do you do in this marriage? You know, and the lady also confirmed all that the man was sharing or was saying, that, oh yes, of a true, he's a wonderful husband. The only problem is they don't talk. They don't talk. Not that they are enemies or anything. They talk, oh, normal. But then she was requesting for attention, undivided attention. A time where you can sit together, talk about heartfelt issues. She wasn't getting that. So that story aside, many years down the lane, couples came with issues and all that. And he one day sat down, took his notes from the many years of counseling, and he realized a pattern that gave birth to the 5 love languages. So there is nothing like female love language. What maybe a male would do for me that I would see as love will be different from what Mrs. Oforiatta would also see as love. It's the same way. What would appeal to him as love will be different from another fellow man. So the 5 love languages, if I can quickly go through it. The first, in no particular order, please. Words of affirmation. There are people who are moved by words, okay? When you see them and you tell them, oh, you look nice today, your outfit fits you. I really appreciate what you did for me the other time. These are words. There are people who appreciate that. They see that as love. There are others too whose love language is acts of service. And that is what the story I shared, the man was doing. But that wasn't love for the woman. You get it? All right. Another one is receiving of gifts. It shouldn't be expensive. There is also quality time. That was what the lady, okay. And then there is also physical touch, not a sexual one. Like maybe you be going somewhere and he holds the hand. Somebody that is me, this doesn't do anything to me. But that is someone's love language. Yeah, so this is the back story, behind the scenes story, behind this 5 love languages. So I just want to establish the premise that there's nothing like female love language. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I think I will pick it up a bit from what you said and then probably add a few ones. That is after the questions start coming. So, honestly, I got married before I got to know the love language. Yeah.
Listen.
And don't worry if I add the fancy to it, okay? Oh no, ma, as I'll blend the fan. I got you. I didn't know. I was doing my own thing. My husband too was doing his own thing. And at a point in time, it was frustrating. Okay, he's not the type who likes to be touched and, hey, yeah, bobo. So I'm the type who wants to be touched all over. I don't mind kissing you outside and all that, okay? Yeah, but he's like, he's like, you know, and it was quite disturbing. But I later, when I realized all this, I'm like, in fact, I started talking to the youths, that those who are close to me, about these things, and it's very important. So if you don't talk about this now, it will be a problem. Trust me, it will be a problem. Maybe your love language is gifts, buying gifts. It's not something very expensive, something small, showing kind. Maybe I'm not sure okay, like most women, we want to, but we don't also want to give. We always want to respect. We always want to respect, but we don't want to give. Okay, I don't know. I was doing that more, but because he didn't understand it, it was a problem. I'll buy the small things. I'll do this. I'll do this. I'll do that. Even before, okay, so let me say, so even before, if I know that tonight I want a match, you know, I'll start texting during the day. What's our group? What match?
Oh,
football match, yeah. Chelsea and Liverpool. Sorry.
I was lost.
Sorry. Wait. Okay. So I will start that in the morning, you know. But on Tase, Pasho, in a call. And it was like, nah. I remember, okay, so this became a problem, man.
The experience department.
Exactly. We even had to come and see Pastor about this. So, Ewa, don't worry, no. I will do everything, but on Saturday, don't go there. Saturday is for the Lord. Let me put it that way. Yeah. Because I'm preparing my heart, everything, so that Sunday, yeah. So, when I got married, Saturday, he want us to have sex, and he said, lead worship. And it was a problem. He also thought that, Yahweh said that there is nothing wrong with that, and still, up till now, I had to. And he's okay with it. But one time we came to Pastor and he brought that up. I'm like, and Pastor was like, oh yeah, inti monka, ebi ono no feeling about Sunday, Saturday you. Okay, so I just had to psych my mind and then all that. Yeah, but so these things like this, you have to talk about it before. You have to talk about it before. Okay. So I don't know if you want to say something before we move on to the next. Okay. Okay. So as I was saying, you don't have to wait for females like ladies. Men and the Tembia Benin should show all these 5 love languages. Okay. I hope we know them. We know them, right? Yeah. Yeah. So we don't have to wait for the guys to. We can also do the same, and so that we get to know them more. And as she was saying that holding of hands and then touching no no and no, but you know, when you focus, okay, sometimes we work at the I remember talking to one lady also na ansha a beding a hunde a piano but you will saw shape and you realize that oh yeah del na sana akubium na ekeje apapa wa no ho na ekeje dama na da ono so bokwa akoso beebi ahwe na wehu de ne zene ye desen wo zene obo drop inyo. That's how it is. That's how it is. And I always say that me and my chamana mubo worry biuma kadewi amechira mo huni ho. Yeah, you will keep yourself. You will. You won't yeah. Yeah. I mean, you won't do certain things. You would appear, Miss Afuna would want to. This is I Miss Afun being for so that my or baby or yeah.
Yes,
Now it's not only girls who do that. Boys do, men do the same now. They want Miss Afuna. They are, what to do and all that. Now, what about rap now? Can't all that they baby honey, they will do whatever. They will lie for you. After you've given them everything, then they will also drop you like that. So please, let's be guided by the word of God. That's the first thing we should. Let us be guided by the word of God. And also and let me tell you this, please, ladies, if you see a man and you think that you are interested in the man, don't start cooking for the man or go to the house to wash. If you can't say it by mouth, you can write it, you can text it. Yeah, come on. It's not be a baba for no call. So it's not yeah. We man can be a chore, but no so feel there. I mean, me to let me because me. I'm not me a mukun lie. Don't lie now. So let me just say it. And I didn't say it's like I love you. I want us today too. I mean, I'm like, okay.
The ladies want to learn.
Yeah, okay. So I was like, I can see, okay, we've been friends for a while. So what if right now you see me going out with another person? Will you be okay? Oh, I will not, but if that's what you want, I'll find out, so you, what do you want? You, what do you want? Me, but if you feel, then I'm to look at you. I want us to go out. So if you're okay with it, why not? I want us to go out. If you're okay with it, to go out. If you're okay with it. So, yeah, if you're okay with it, I want us to go out. So please, ladies, if you want to be nice, Thank you.
Mic drop.
Okay. All right. So when to say it? I'll share my own experience. Okay. Okay. So, all right. I'll still share the experience and then call out at least two things out of all of this. Okay, so that you learn something. Now, for me, going into marriage now, I was at a place in my life where I had told myself that I wasn't even looking for a relationship.
That's one.
And I feel that everybody needs to that point.
Thank you.
Okay. Everybody needs to come to that point where it's like you're not desperate to be in a relationship. When you are desperate, you settle. Do you understand me? You will settle. You will settle for anyone or anything that comes your way. You will make excuses for things that are inexcusable and then suffer the consequences in future. So, be in a place where you are trying to be the best version of your own self.
God bless you. Ladies, listen.
It's very important. Pastor always says it, and I'll side with him. Not because I'm married. Even if I were not married, I think it will still be the same mantra because it doesn't really change. You need to be on a quest to always be the best version of yourself. If you have two people who are all on a quest to be the best versions of themselves spiritually, physically, financially, whatever, it makes life easy. There's a middle ground. We are all trying to be the best versions of ourselves. We are all trying to be like Christ. We are all trying to be like God. We are all trying to exhibit. You are going to end up with somebody that you don't want. Either you end up with an unbeliever or you are going to end up with somebody who behaves like a believer but is not a believer at all. Okay? Or you end up with a very good person who is not a great match for you. Okay? Simply because you have settled. Simply because you have settled. So it's very important to look at the kind of person that you are working with. You need to know exactly what you are looking for. So for me, I've not shared this on many platforms, but for me, I was in that place where I told myself that, you know what, let me sit at my somewhere, focus on my God, worship God, focus on my ministry, focus on my career, all of that. After all, there's so many, many more things to life than just being in a relationship. That was me. That was me. And because I was in that space, it gave me a lot of self-awareness. And so I told myself that moving forward, if ever I want to get into a relationship, I'm looking for one thing, peace of mind. That is what I told myself. So that became very defining for me. If you're a lady and then you came around me at a time and I sense that you don't smell like peace of mind. If I smell your perfume, baby, and you don't smell like peace of mind, you're going to be gone. You understand? Yeah, because being in that space of self-awareness helped me to know exactly what I want in a partner. That is very important for you because some of you want to go into relationships, but you don't even know what you are looking for, what you want. Some people don't even know themselves. How many of you know your love language? Today you will know. I've already shared a link with them. There's simple quizzes that you can take. So if you don't know your love language, is the QR code ready? Don't worry, don't share it now. Maybe towards the end, we'll take a few minutes. Everybody will do it. Because you need to know your own love language. Do you understand me? Yeah. And when you have learned about it, you can use it to diagnose the people that you are walking around with, your friends. So you know, oh, this is my friend there. This is what she likes. This lady that I'm looking at looks like this is what she likes. Okay, all right. So, back to my experience. Then out of nowhere, because I was not really searching at all, then,
Closed it.
oh yes, I'd closed the chapter, the chapters.
Okay.
Yes. So I'd closed it at all. I'd closed it completely. I wasn't in Cape Coast at the time. So I was there, then out of nowhere, this lady starts texting. It was just a random text. Because we used to, my wife, she's in Trinity. So back in Cape Coast, we're all in Trinity. And we're friends. We're friends. I had purposed in my heart that I wasn't going to marry anybody from inside Trinity because of leadership. You know, it was a personal, just so that it doesn't become like, hey, one or chichina members nor there be. You don't want that. So among we're young people at the time. We're young men. We were all not married. 3 of us, the 3 leaders. So we had told ourselves that dating inside Trinity Day, or say groups be brave in tea. I'll enter an argument concerning Trinity food, because the next thing you know, you are dating somebody in the group, and then somebody says, I don't know, you girl, okay, she did more Janana, we're being imposed on the rest of us. I was on to them. So it was out. So when we're friends inside Trinity, I'm very strict. I'm not nice. Nancy am I a nice kakra, but back then I wasn't a nice person at all. At all. Hey, later, masako, makan buy hats, makan ebusu na kofi. Till biya no ye concerning me, biya pedo bottom trap him. Because that tomo trap, I'll give it to you. You are not asking Yankupa, Miss Yankupa Nejma, ye majma, across my. So that was the kind of person I was. Then I was out of Cape Coast. So she just reached out. Said he reaches out, and she's like, oh, it's been a while. Echo, how are you doing? Something like that. Something like that. So then I also engaged, blah, 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 blah. So I think the very first day, we spent a lot of time texting. And on hindsight, she tells me that she was very surprised that day. Because honestly, it was just a harmless, she just felt like, oh, it would be a nice thing to also check on your leader when your leader has been away for a while. No, or texting.
Ladies, check up on the man.
Then, so that day we texted for a while. Then I think the following day we texted. Then it was like, it was becoming a regular thing. You know, it was becoming a regular thing. I don't know whether maybe because I wasn't doing my usual activity. So I'll be like, oh yeah, because okay, more what my ba. So it went on. And that whole time, quite frankly, I was still in that space where I told myself that, you know, nah, I'm not dating. I want to develop myself. Like, yeah, I want to develop myself, you know. And for her also, she didn't think that me, Parkwesi, I'll open my mouth to ever say anything. Do you understand? So she had also closed her mind. But we over that period, sort of built a very nice friendship, very open conversation. You know, we could talk about any and everything. Yasro. And she saw an aspect of me that she hadn't seen before. But even that time, Krana still ocean we, because on pedo berries in expectation. Now, Musuma to margin him. Then Yankupa is to Markuma Dumpomeya to action. So that was the space in which we were. This went on for a while. When I returned to Cape Coast, it continued. We still kept in touch. Every now and then we'll be talking. I hadn't said anything. We're just friends. So this must have taken close to a year, if I'm not mistaken. So close to a year or so. So, but when we were in Cape Coast, we were really, really, really talking a lot. So one of the days, I remember it was a Sunday after church. Yanko rehearsal that day. So we all had time. Because usually Sunday afternoons we'll go for rehearsal. So when you don't have rehearsal like that, it's like you don't know what to do with the rest of your day, beat them. So we all had time. So we're talking, I mean, at the time, I had started considering her. I had even mentioned it to my twin brother, Enoch Asante. I had mentioned it to Enoch at the time. So Enoch knew about it. I'm like, what does he think about Sedi? You know. And Enoch was like, oh, Sedi is correct. Blah 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 blah. Because they also had a nice friendship. Said you're Enoch an advisor. Said no advice. Americans are Samido. I hadn't planned to say it that way. In fact, I was thinking of a way to say it. Okay, I was thinking of a way to say it. Obey fine. Monko chop bounce. Okay, Monko chop bounce. But then again, you should also notice that we're at that point where we had built the timing. You hear my conversation? So you would know. You don't go proposing to be on your nyanko. Enyimino baby, enyin nkase, ekasran one or security. They want to feel like they are safe.
Peace.
You understand? And peace. They have peace. So if you have not proven yourself to that lady that, oh, you can offer that kind of security, you don't have any business going to. If lady Nontumi you're open, you've not created a space for her to be open and tell you one or two things in her life, and then like she willingly wants to share certain things with you, then you have not reached there. Etimasa, you have not reached there. It's not the right time to say anything. You need to prove yourself as a safe space, as any security, before you can open your mouth to say that. So then maybe I'll be here, no, okay, be a question, be there. No, be say there. So, what will you do? Say, be them. What will you do for me? I say, be them. Like, me a day, I also a bayam then. And now, with the idea that, oh, what will you give me? Be to them. Then I'm like, oh, I'll marry you. Just like that. And
But it didn't come out from you, like you just said it.
oh, it was a text. Yeah, but tell me about it was in the moment. I hadn't planned to say it that moment. Yes. So I just said, I'll marry you. Then for about 2 minutes, no response beyond nothing was coming. Into response beyond but me say Razi. As you are done solidifying CC, it can't be a joke. Now me start say, me the text no so no don't. I took her through that. You know, over the period that we've been talking, she's the first person that I want to talk to. She's the first person that I want to share things with.
The words.
Has she realized that? And I brought her. Has she realized that nearly every day we talk, and she's like the last person. We would even pray. You know, in the evening. No, and see, I brought her mind to all of this. I'm like, well, for me, at this point, I can't see anybody else in my life that I can do this with for the rest of my life apart from you. Inti. No pressure. I didn't plan to say it this way, but once it has come up, I want you to know that I actually mean it. Inti. You think about it. We'll meet. When we meet, we can talk some more. No GDO. Sana, some of them can. No phone, no finish. Because she didn't see it coming. We were just enjoying friendship. So she didn't see it coming at all. And for me, it makes it special because I feel like whatever I said in that moment was more heartfelt than any other way that I would have said it. And she appreciates it this way. Okay, she appreciated it this way. So I went to pick her, and then we went to sit somewhere. It was a holiday. Holiday, but free. So then I took her somewhere, and I told her that I actually meant everything that I said, but still no pressure. She should think about it. If it is not what she wants, she should let me know, because I'm still happy to have her as a friend because she's a good person. I'm still happy to have her as a friend. No. I'll still want to have her as a friend in my life, regardless. Until onjuno ho. Until opia mama no more time, no onjuno ho. Or emergency, but you emergency them. So she should think about. Those were my words. Until onjuno ho. Then she came in and she responded, in the affirmative. Even though she was quite surprised, she expressed her shock and surprise, even when I came to reaffirm that this is what I actually meant. I'm sure in her mind, a part of her brain was entertaining the fact that, guy, you be shebio me orbo abakado one sheda door kade marry me, but the way as an Cayenne, maybe it was a defense or something, so when I reaffirmed it, she was still in shock. But then she agreed to it, and then the rest is history. For her, I think my wife is one of the most intentional people ever. God bless her for me. I think she's one of the most intentional people ever. So after we had that, now it became sort of an official thing, okay? Because I didn't propose dating or courtship. I proposed marriage. Do you understand me? So that was the path that we had set out. Or, Mr. Warren, marry me. That's what I did. So on one of the days, I would visit her. Then she asked me, do you know about the love languages? That's what she asked me. Let me say, oh, I've heard about it, but it's not something I've paid attention to. Then she was like, okay, you take a quiz today, the same quiz that I shared with you. Said you would take a quiz. It was in her office at Elmina. Said you would take a quiz today. Nah, obey as no computer though. Must me and take a quiz, no. Let me take a quiz. You know, quiz na nkasa mom a answer no. This is your primary love language, and then this is your secondary love language. Then she told me what her own love language was as well. That set a kind of premise for us for the rest of because now we had entered a romantic phase. Do you understand me? So knowing the right things to do so that the person feels loved. Very, very, very important. So my wife is one who likes quality time, attention. Okay. And she will tell you, quality time is not 20 hours. It's not 30 hours. It is in the moment, it's you and I, and a heartfelt conversation. Sometimes it's not even a conversation, but just the person's presence, knowing that the person is here with you and not living outside of the moment. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that was it for her. And it didn't really sink in so much for me till one day we're driving. We're not married, but we're close to getting married. We're driving on this stretch from UCC, the second gate, towards Elmina. Our side. You pay Jacono. So we're driving. And you know how that stretch, or dim streets, Diakro to Elmina, Bridge, or dim. So we're driving. That time, oh, no, I was using this one now. So I saw about 3 or 4 cars. I don't remember, but there were a number of cars. So I saw one speed what's in the front. I'm also more drive. I saw one speed. Into motion speed, na measure, but now I'm more drive this side. Me gauge, me say, oh, now road your dim. There was no approaching vehicle anyway. Road your dim. Into me, you measure for home. Into me, hear them, about be here for home. She was like, baby, no, don't go, slow down. I'm like, now can not them, I'm come on, me. Mr. Chair, do I overtaking me? See, fine. Because we're having a hearty conversation. Then, Komo was not in Komo. But took. No, yes. That's the reason. And I parked the car. Or roadside one. Then I asked, what's. Then she was like, oh, no. It's not because of anything. It's just because in that moment, she just wanted to be heard in that moment. So me deciding to do otherwise No, even though I thought it was the right thing and it was harmless, I was trying to explain and defend myself. Oh no, I'll never put you in harm's way because Mushana is not dangerous. It's not hey, someone could but why am I now? I'll never put you in harm's way. See, know that it's not about putting anybody in harm's way. It's just about listening. And that was all I needed from you at that point in time. Name your menu. So me serious. You know, but it taught me in that moment a lot of things. So now I understand it, and I'm happy that she even voiced it out. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
That she even voiced it. Some people wouldn't talk about it. No, Sheniyim or Sheniyim. Them guy. One of the issues I'm dealing with right now. Warbo Wareno, na girl no catch another girl there. Yeah. Yes. The guy was doing one or two things that he didn't like, and you want to wait to get married before you show him. That's plain evil. That's plain evil. And now it's an issue. Very young couple. It's an issue that we are dealing with. You know. So the intentionality of learning about the love languages, what makes the person feel loved, wanted at that point in time, is very, very, very important. Very, very important. So you need to know, okay? You need to know. If you are lucky to know before you make a romantic proposal, it helps in your planning of your proposal. Maybe Mijapo from my wife, catch an mama kakra. No, so Ampa, my uncle meets some story review. So I also shared the story she shared with me. Us in there was a guy who met this girl. Then last year, Val's Day, this guy wanted to do something special for this lady that he was courting. So wanted to do something special. Took weeks, tried to do research, what she would like. We be sananyankofo. We phone do. They be a select a bag. Be a new now we screenshot at Terry. Guys, I'm showing you the way. We screenshot at Terry and now BB that you know. So all of that, and then were they dating or they were okay? I think they were married. Though they were married. This guy went to the extent of ordering for food, did decoration, and all of that for the lady. Because based on new research, and the lady would probably like that. Then kept the lady out, open cake lady, you know. They stayed out so that the workers can have time to do all the background work. So after everything, then the lady was like, oh, Abre, it's been a long night since you coffee. But the guys were trying feedback from if you're trying green lights before, you know, they were going. So when the green light came, then they went. When they went, you know, they opened the door now. Hey! They were bro. It's we ejuma way na. Hey, teddy bear. Now say teddy bear ne boy dio 500 cedis. Na ka first can mami e.
Efforts going to waste.
That was not a thank you. Not a thank you. The lady was laughing at the guy for all the efforts that the guy put in. Guy, this was Ashena Kumum. So I think it was a post that came, was a tool online that he said this year 1 year, BB lady na enjoying your she. It's not on your one. Because the last time that he tried to do something was thrown. No kitchen there. Confess can a man. But you know, if Senkonyim, the lady's love language, then you can plan something around it. You know that your lady loves quality time. Okay, quality time. So you create the time for her. In Yimde or gifts. And gifts, we are not talking about big gifts. Thoughtful gifts. Thoughtful gifts. Okay.
Manifested.
Yes. So Eshena, oh, Debia or Quajuma, Necapia, or the native gum Quajume, on ye, or a fine pa. Now, aqua to special one beer, within one now with a nice note, with a nice note be on it. You know, it doesn't cost much. It's every time you're for them cap piano. Oh, no, I care. You understand? And you do kakra, you know, or words of affirmation. This bit is a big A because I feel like it's leans heavily on your background and then how you are raised. Okay? And that is why you should also know Nyimpa and Yenenanto and the love language. Ladies, you should also understand the guy's love language. You should understand their background, their upbringing. So that if, for example, I'm a parent upbringing, we say I love you to each other all the time. You know, you are leaving home and your mom says, I love you too, mommy, I love you. It's yakama. Why a part of us? That's how we know. If you love me, you say it. Do you understand? So that's how I was raised up. Okay. And then my wife was raised in a place where yanka. But if you love me, you show it. If you love me, you show it. Do you understand? What do you think will happen? I'll be there expecting that she'll be saying I love you just so that I'll feel all right, bye-bye, babe. I love you. You know, because all you need to all you drew is a man, but you are used to it. Okay. So, but if you both understand Ubiana love languages, then just like what love does, okay, love would sort of meet the other person halfway. Okay, even though it's not in your natural disposition to say it, you put in effort to actually do that. And then you, this other person who is also on the receiving end, when you know that your partner, you're or taka, what do? You encourage the person, you motivate the person. Don't say that, hey, I love you. Hey, Jim. Don't do that. You don't do that. You appreciate it. You know, when you realize that somebody is putting in effort to actually make you feel loved, the least you can do is to appreciate the person. Okay? The least you can do is to appreciate the person. So the love languages are very important. The how, let me just bring it home. So the how to say it. There is no special how to say it. You need to understand the individual that you are dealing with. That is why it's important to be friends with that person, know the person's personality, know the person's love language. You are not using it to trick the person. Do you understand me? So you don't try to do anything to impress anybody with the hope that the person... No. Show yourself as a safe space for this person. Do you understand me? Then it becomes easy when you are putting in the proposal. If you want it to make more meaning, definitely it's a romantic proposal. You need to speak a language that the person would appreciate. Okay? And that's where the love languages come in. I know I've said a lot of things, but hopefully you've picked a thing or two out of it. All right. Thank you.
Doc. It's like you've said everything. I don't know if you were really listening, because the preference, he said it. The story that he was sharing and all that, everything is in it. Okay? The only thing that two things that I would add. The first one is, as a man, okay, if you propose to a lady or you make up your mind to propose to a lady, be ready to receive whatever the outcome is. Meaning you need to be matured up here. Yes. Bear in mind, you have had the time to assess the lady, but she hasn't. Especially with the example he gave. If you drop it like a bomb, like that.
She always says that she didn't date me, I dated her. Just in there. Obesate date for a dating period because she doesn't think it's fair. I mean, Mr. Dina, son, no, you're ready. Yes.
Yes, exactly what I'm saying. Be ready. If the lady tells you, I need time, respect it.
Yeah.
Else you chop bounce. Oh, seriously. Even if it takes 2-3 months, just give her, respect that response. Because she also has to sit back, assess the situation, ask herself if she knows herself, okay, and she knows where she's going. It is now that she's going to assess everything to see
the good person that you have developed yourself to be. Now be pressuring her every day, buying her credits and every day buying her lunch when you know it's not sustainable. When you know it's not sustainable, say, Jay, the mazin, and that's deception. You don't deceive people into loving you. Do you understand me? So if Wakachodo here 2 months, 3 months to come up with an answer, for boom, there's something I tell them, for sure. You understand? For boom, and then continue being you. Keep up whatever conversation. Don't man pressure. It doesn't make sense. Do you understand? Because it's not an easy decision to make, especially when the person hasn't had so much time or hasn't come to the place to accept for herself that, oh, this is what I want. Look, you might have settled, but people take time to assess and then process some of these things differently. So please, love is patient. Be patient with the pain. Guys, you need to trust God that even if this one goes, God has something better in store. Take it from me. God has something better in store for you. All right.
All right, so I think I remember the second one. So the second one comes from the last story you shared, that the gentleman went out of his way to prepare and all that. From the little research, I told you I'm coming from the research department. Yes. The advice is that when it comes to the 5 love languages, everybody has a primary love language, all right? But sometimes the situation that the person finds him or herself at that moment would determine the love language that will be received at that time. I don't know if you get me. So let's say, for instance, if maybe I've lost a family member, okay, and I'm not the touchy type. At that moment, I just need a shoulder to cry on. You get it? But that's not my primary love language. So there's something just to throw out there. So sometimes it's good to know the person. The key thing is be friends. Yeah. Let it be easy. He said it. Let it be easy for the person to share anything with you. The safe haven. Yeah. Let it be easy for the person to share anything with you. That's it.
Okay, before questions, a quick one. There's this thing that I want us to know about it. We should also know, I still want to press on the friendship. Very necessary. Those very close to me knows what I'm talking about. Very necessary. And then there's this thing we should also know how to say them. Thank you. I'm sorry. And then please. Damn 3 words here. The pa bibi kakran makoto. Thank you. Thank you. Bocho medase. Bocho. And all one can bocho. It's
I'm the head.
thank you. It really hurts. Titembia, then you'll be having issues. You always expect that your partner will tell you, will say thank you, or will say please. Kwesi, he has no other one, ma'am. Enka thing in Porcho, ma'am. Ma'am. Enka. And when you're not coming from that background, it's where did we use? Yeah, because like when, as Grace was saying that our home, we kiss, I love you, and all that. Okay, My husband home. It no be so.
Don't go back and be apologizing.
No apology. I just yard not the one mom. I'm like, so when you see things, it becomes, yeah. So we have to be checking those things. And then if you want your partner also to learn these things, I think you also have to do that a lot for them to, if you know their background, you would help them to also, yeah. So please, your questions and then.
All right, let's appreciate our speakers. Yes, just as I said earlier, it's very, very impactful, and we want to say thank you very much on behalf of the leadership of the youth ministry for gracing us this evening. Because of time, we'll give 5 people, I think we'll take 5 questions, and then our speakers will try and answer. Please, any question? Okay.
I don't have a question, but it's an observation I've made. I've realized that boys don't learn. Like most guys don't
Thank you.
like to learn about relationship. Like probably the girls are reading more. They are watching more videos. They are listening to things. They are picking advice. Tell me, but it's like, you know, boys just handle everything like a project. Okay, see, I'm okay. And few calculations, then logical reasoning, crazy. Okay. Obafa. Okay, we move. But you see, what is bringing in all the bouncing and all this stuff, and it looks like church girls don't like church boys. Church boys are not speaking church girls their language. Sure? The girls are listening to things. They are learning a lot. They be a podcast used to do that. Okay, and it is not, you see, the more they listen to this thing, the more they get to know themselves. The more they get to understand, okay, and the fancy, so know that your girl or the woman that you want, she spends her time on Instagram, or if she Snapchat, or if she TikTok. She has seen how some guy be treating, and she's picking cues and all these things from them, in as much as she's also learning to become a better person for you. But I think that it's high time our church boys become very intentional about learning about relationship. Like, you know, mama how girls behave and how they think, their perspective about stuff. And it would help you. I think Pastor Akwa has told us these things a lot of time. But yes, I am. Nah, then when you are bound, you just go like, no, I'm spiritual. No, we are spiritual. Just that, like, you're not learning. So you are coming in as an ignorant person. Like, I would hate when you tell me that the Lord said I'm your wife.
Easy.
This issue. Hey, Bishop Blue.
You know, can I come in a little? What she said is really important. Okay, if you are a guy and you are eyeing a lady who has taken the time and the pains to educate herself, okay, I should lower myself, make myself small for you. Me, the moment I see that, it's like you are threatened by my, you know, where I'm going. And there no pack. So church guys, please, what she said is true. It is true. It's not because we are in the same church, so no. Remember, I'm an individual with a vision. I am not just there waiting for your vision so that I can submit under. No. Whether he comes or he doesn't come, please, I move on. So if the ladies' mindsets are like that, then Charlie guys, washing God.
Yeah, and it's very important. I mean, maybe coming from Seiram, it will be a hard pill to swallow for some of the guys. So I'll say it as a guy. Maybe it will be easier for you to swallow. The ladies are reading. The ladies are learning. the ladies are educating themselves to become good materials for themselves. You know, I started by saying, like, set out on a journey to develop your own self, to be the best version of yourself. So if you, as a gentleman, you are also not being intentional, like she said, about learning about relationships, learning how to manage conflicts, learning how to communicate and all that, and then you just take all of these things for granted, it will be very easy for you to chop a bounce because you become a nuisance. Okay, you become a nuisance to the 21st century lady. Back in the day, the ladies didn't have much of a say. Our it's no one over papa fraud that brent we able to train it is nature and you know is nature. But in this day and age, it's not like that. So gentlemen, please let's be aware. In terms of look at the last message.
Okay.
Please read it for.
It's too small.
It's too small. Okay, then I'll read it myself. Let's see. This was from my wife. I said, last one. She sent this at 5:20. And she sent me screenshots of the 5 love languages because I tend to procrastinate into him. And then I tend to get busy. And she knows my love language is acts of service. So she tries to help out as much as possible. And I love that about her. So she sends these things to me, even though I'd done my reading and everything. Around 5:17, I'll send them screenshots, 5 love languages. And I'll send them our account. Also, last one. In order to find the best man or woman, be the best man or woman. Now, one and on That's what she texted to me. You know, so you cannot take, and it's not just for the ladies. Gentlemen, please, be the best version of yourself. Suya, as in suya, on your natural them. You understand me? Because we are all raised differently. And depending on where you are coming from, if you don't learn certain things, because of what be. All right.
Any other question?
It's a question. I want to find out, how do you deal with being real when it comes to long distance relationship? For example, let's say I travel to maybe Accra, and then I happen to meet someone, and then like we exchanged contact and we became friends like via text when I came back. So for some time we've been texting like friends, and we've moved on like to we moved on to be in a relationship. How do I know that the person is being real? Because I'm not seeing the person, you're just texting. Because you're talking about, let's say, the person always texting you in the morning, oh, good morning, like giving you sweet words and all that. How do you know that this is not like a faking or just presenting himself as that way? How do you go about it? And how would you know that it's more like real?
Okay.
Then let's all say it together. Oh my God.
So, in as much as communication is important, you would know, okay, you can invite him over or invite yourself over. Because you've moved from one step to the other, right? Or you're just friends. You've moved ahead. Yes. So invite him over or invite yourself. Yeah, my friend. Invite yourself. You would know certain things. And then if some more communication, if Tembia is on point, you would know. You will know. Or sugar quota, but Charlie, you can't be always texting and then calling alone. And so you should invite him over, or he should also invite you. Weekend, a holiday, something. You go out, then me and you. I mean, okay, with that, you can't do that. Chidebia, our ankasa no, why you bono utrinti? Fine, you can do that. You can do that on your own. Okay? Mami share Aza Oreye. You can do that. But you have to let him know what you want.
This,
I wanted to add something to what she said before, or maybe disagree with her on what she said. If you have reason, if you have reason to show up uninvited because then you don't even need to be in that relationship at all. You don't need to be in that relationship. If you feel a need to pick up a phone and then look through to find out who the person is talking to and who the person is not talking to, then use the person. Do you understand me? Now, the other bits about this long distance thing is that you should understand that even when you marry somebody and you don't know the person 100%, because people evolve, people change. There are certain principles, values may not change. Even that one, people learn and add on new values to themselves. Do you understand? Depending on what stage they are on in their life, how they are building themselves. So the person you married in 2025, in 2030, that person would have either become better, would have added certain values to themselves. So that person is still not the same. And now there, because you are under the same roof now, you're going to be learning new things about the person that were not there before. Do you understand me? So long distance, I haven't done long distance solely before. And I don't think it is the best. Okay? But in your communication, what are you talking about? What questions are you asking? What kind of engagements are you having? Is it always, oh, have you eaten? What are you wearing? Are you sleeping? What did your boss say today at work? How was your night? Then you move on. And, hey, I miss you. What is that all that you are talking about? Ask the important questions. Ask intelligent questions. Okay? Ask the person's worldviews on family, on raising children. Does he believe in Obrumbo Frama and another Obrumbo Frama? Does he believe in having a big family or a small family? That is when you know whether this person is actually, right for you or not. Even that one, you cannot know 100%. Because some people too can give you very intellectual answers. But at least, like she's saying, when the communication is open, constant, and you are asking the right questions, you would know the right answers. You would know the information that you need to know. But when it's just, sweet words and and I miss you, and you won't learn anything. You will never know anything. Then you get married to this person. And this goes for even physical relationships, the ones that you get to see the person. You go out, what questions are you asking this guy? What questions are you asking this lady? Ask intelligent questions. Into say minifie, for example, yawar minifie na say ebi made to konmoko baby na say ECG foba na say ubucha yen light ma. I'm going for this very important meeting. I might not be available. What will you do? Maybe a girl. What will you do? I can't say, hey, I'm no, but then you know. So if you can deal with that kind, where your phone will buzz 20 times, man, if ministry doesn't take me away, career will take me away. Okay, because both of them are very demanding, and I can't see myself not being a doctor or not being a minister. I can't see. You take it away from me, and I don't know what I'll become. My life will probably become very worthless. So I told her at the physical meeting that we had after the virtual one. I told her and I asked her whether she's able to deal with, is that the kind of guy that she also envisions having in her life? Somebody who either can preach with her and can minister with her day, and not there, or she Is that the kind of guy? Is that the kind of family that you want? So these are some of the things you should ask about. Not what did you eat this evening?
Last two questions.
No, you've touched on what I wanted to say.
Let's pick the last two. The last two questions, if there is any.
To you. As part of the presentation, I think it was Doc who said something about love being patient, and I think Ita also mentioned something about 2 or 3 months. I want to find out how long is too long to wait for a response, because maybe you've put in the proposal, you've asked, the response is not coming, and from here we are hearing that don't put pressure on the person. But how long should you wait?
Okay, I think I jotted something like that down. So you wait for the right, you consider the timing too. So you should know the timing. Wait. See where she is also, like, you should know. Yeah, that's what I think that's what I wrote. You should know the timing. But I can't say the time, like 2 months or 3 months. When the right time comes, you would know. You would know. So you should just know the timing, the mood, and everything. It counts. Pastor, I hope you. You still want the 1 month or 2 months, 3 months before?
Just to add a little, yes. This also boils down to the friendship aspect. If you know her well, and she also knows you well, you get it. The timing, you know that is the right time. It boils down to knowing the person, inside out, without any strings attached. Yeah, you get to know everything about her, and you would know if it is right to go ahead or not. Because if you should propose at the wrong time, it also delays the response as well. So the timing, you would get a cue from the friendship that you've built. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay, let me also add. So, I think the import of the question is how not to have your time wasted. Anna, yes. How long should you wait? Yes. I got it, pa. So that you don't have your time wasted. You don't sit around waiting for 1 year, waiting for a response, and you don't think prolong. I feel that's a more important question to ask yourself. Okay, why is the answer prolonging? And like what they are saying, if you have that kind of very open conversation, some people will tell you, oh, I'm concerned about my family because they don't like Ewes, for example. That is the reason I need to go and convince my uncle will be somewhere that you're a correct guy. That is why I'm not able to give you any correct response. Or in my church, I'm a shepherd at Lighthouse, and they're already working out, giving me some other guy be. So that is why. All of these things, no. The best. Unless you have been friends to the level where the person can be open. It's very important. If you don't get that timing right, then these things will prolong, and sometimes you won't even get any proper reason, and then you'll just be there. Now, when you are there and the answer is not coming, let's assume that, yes, you missed the timing and all of that. You put in your proposal prematurely because she wasn't ready for it. She just thought you guys were being friends. She's in a place in her life, has just come out of a bad relationship, isn't looking forward to another relationship. And then you two, you feel like you have met your world and all of that. Now, all of these examples that I gave, if truly you have been friends with this person, and you know that, oh, this lady just came out of a very bad relationship. And this lady just came out of a very bad relationship. And she's now healing. You won't jump in quickly simply because maybe you have been there for her or she's giving you attention or whatever. So then you quickly jump in with your own proposal. No, she's trying to heal. She's trying to find herself. She's trying not to repeat the same mistake again. But it would depend on the kind of friendship you have had with her. No, but to there. Another word, you will know in case you miss it. She should be able to tell you, or she would tell you, depending on the kind of communication. She would tell you that, oh, I'm in a place where blah, 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 blah. That's okay, or a healer. Or per time knows a healer. Or per time, it's two things. Either you move on and you tell her that you can't wait. Are you ready? In your be there, 2025 is your year. You must marry. Until you can't afford. You cannot afford, like Andy, you cannot afford to wait. You cannot afford to wait that year. Then you can just communicate. Let her know that, oh, Emizi, for me, I am very ready. I am very ready. And then I hope to get married by the end of the year. But if you don't see yourself getting married by the end of the year, then we can end it. Then you quickly move on to somebody who is ready, that you see yourself with. Okay? Now, this is very important because if you are not even able to communicate all of these things, your own aspirations, your own plans, okay, if you are not able to communicate all of these things, like as when you see them impact who there, I understand the emotion and all of that's involved, okay, but you can't also force the person. You understand me? You can't force the person. If Sawa Monhu 2 months, let's say so 2 months, no, it's too much for her. You just leave it at that, and then you move on. But the communication needs to be clear. It needs to be clear. It needs to be clear. It needs to be clear. Ladies, please, be clear. Be clear. Be clear. If as an MPR, be clear. Tell the person, I am not sure. I don't know when I'm going to be sure. If he can deal, let him deal. If he doesn't deal and he goes, that's your loss. And maybe you were going to be ready in 2 months' time. Then, because the answer delayed for 1 month, the guy also left. You can't also blame the guy. Do you understand me? You can't. So it's not cast in stone. But I believe in communication. Talk about it to the detail. This is the reason I'm not able to give you an answer now, because of where I'm going to Moko Bible School. And now the way I pay brain, I don't see myself. Now I can
Please, let me add this quickly. And we shouldn't let our families or friends pressure us. Me, don't. Because don't. You should trust your instinct. Know that this person is what I want. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and just to add up, before any guy proposes, one thing, seek counsel. It's key. Yes, this is what you have planned. This is what you've thought about. Discuss it with someone who can give you wise counsel.
Last question, and this question is coming from me. Yes. I gave 5, and I'm the last person. My question is, Doc, you made mention of when you are trying to do something for a lady, for instance, like you are buying gifts for the person, and you know very well that this thing you can't sustain it to the very end. And we also know that there are some people that they must see something, maybe like it's like you are.
That's their love language.
Yes, like you have to bait them, you know. Like
Mentasi, bait
like,
them then.
Like on the either although BB from the initial stages, no, although BB and sana like why into the matter now. You don't understand, look.
Allow.
Like the person although BB auntie, how do you balance the starting of the thing so that it won't be like you are trying to deceive the person when it comes to about the sustainability.
Come just as you are.
Now, Bibi ne opede hune obia.
No, on the you because you you at initial stages now
you need to know that kind of person. If you need to know that kind of person. If enyi pakuna enyi ka say enyi shots then enyi ka sanana waka cho oh make sure them wig bio me peda mu koto them wig na no boys papa 3,000 cedis. Can you support me? I've been able to raise 1,000. I need 2,000 cedis to add up.
Please.
Our enyimde enyibi. Na say ehwe stay so or you too good to let go. Na ko borrow na man 2k as aka ho. On from koto wig. The next time, no, there's another demand, Zaba. There's another demand. Zaba. Is this sustainable? It's not sustainable. Yes, you are showing something so that you will get here. But to what end? To what end? Do you understand me? So be real with yourself. Know who you are. Know where you are going. And then see if this person, one visions, on the sunajin, no sooner direction, maybe your pedokon. Listen, there's some ladies saying, you see them, the way they will dress, if you are not careful, you will not even get close to them. But if they tell you where they are picking those clothes from to wear, ladies,
Come on.
ladies say,
Tell
man,
me,
I won't go into details.
No secret.
Gentlemen, just so you know, I'm telling the gentlemen, okay. But ekumina say demands or more than what you can bear. You can talk about
Stay away.
it. Let the person know that this is me. I am not in the position to be buying 2,000 Ghana cedis wig for you. I am not in the position to be helping you with your rent.
No.
I'm not in the position to be helping you with your school fees and whatnot. I am not. Okay? Now, one discuss the more important things. It's not about the now. It's not about the now. It's lifelong. What's my say? Yeah, it's lifelong. Okay? So think far.
All right, let's appreciate our speakers. Let's appreciate them. Let's do it better. You know, these are nuggets of wisdom, and I believe this evening has been insightful and very, very impactful. All the things that we've learned, let's try as much as possible to put them into practice. And on behalf of the youth ministry and then the executive, we want to say thank you so much for passing through and gracing us. God richly bless you. Pastor Mark, I will hand over the mic to you so that if there is anything that... Okay. All right. So we will take our offering. Please, let's appreciate them once again. Thank you very much. God bless you.